Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Goranita 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 Jaya Shri Shri Goranita Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada Jai. Jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Can you get a for the Nitanga? The cup. No, cut on the seat cover. Can't get this one. Push on. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Oh Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Let's see.
Titled Maharaja's Hardship, chorus by a Brahma's boy, and text number 45.
Tadarya dharma praviliyate nirnam. Tadarya dharma praviliyate nirnam. Varnashramachara yutastrayi maya. Varnashramachara yutastrayi maya. Tatorita kamabhiniveshitatmanam. Tatorita kamabhiniveshitatmanam.
Sunam kapi nama vivarna sankara.
Shunam kapi namiva varna shankara. Tadarma praviliyate dhanam. Varnashramacharya yutatrayi maya. Tatarthakamabhiniveshitatmanam. Sunam kapi namiva varna shankaran. Tadarya dharma praviliyam. Varnashramacharya yutatrayi maya. Tatarthakamabhiniveshita atmanam. Shunam apinam iva varna shankara.
Tadarya dharma praviliyete narnam.
Tadarya dharma praviliyate nirnam.
Varnashramacharya maya.
Varnashramacharya yutastrayi maya.
Tato artha kama bhiniveshitatmanam.
Tato artha kama bhiniveshitat atmanam.
Sunam kapinam iva varna sankara.
Shunam kapinam iva varna shankara. Tadarya dharma praviliyate nirnam.
Tadarya dharma praviliyete narnam.
Varnashramacharya yutastrayi maya.
Varnashramacharya
tatorita kama pivine visheshitatmanam
tato artha bhini vishetatmanam
shunam kapinam eva varna shankara
sunam kapinam iva varna sankara Tadaya dharma praviliyeta narnam varnashramacharayutastraimaya tato artha kama bhini vishetatmanam shunam kapinam iva varna sankara Tada, at that time, Arya, progressive civilization, Dharmatma, Dharma, engagement, Praviliyate, is systematically vanquished. The Nam of humankind,
varna,
caste,
ashrama, orders of society, acharya yuta, composed in a good manner, trimaya, in terms of the Vedic injunctions, tata, thereafter, artha, economic development, kama abhiniveshita, fully absorbed in sense gratification, atmanam,
of men,
sunam, dogs, kapinam,
like monkeys, eva, thus,
varna sankara,
unwanted population.
And translation by His Grace so I'm verified. At the time, the people in general were told systematically from the past of a progressive civilization in respect to the qualitative engagement of the castes and the orders of society and the Vedic injunction. Those they will be more attracted to economic development for sanctification, and as a result there will be an unwanted population of the level of dogs and monkeys. It is foretold during that in the absence of a monarchical regime, the general mass of people will be an unwanted population like dogs and monkeys. As the monkeys are too sexually inclined, and dogs are shameless in sexual intercourse, the general mass of population born of illegitimate connection will systematically go astray from the Vedic way of good manners and qualitative engagements in the castes and orders of life. The Vedic way of life is a progressive march to the civilization of the Aryans. The Aryans are progressive in Vedic civilization. The Vedic civilization's destination is to go back to Godhead, back home, where there is no birth, no death, no old age, and no disease. The Vedas direct everyone not to remain in the darkness of the material world, but to go toward the light of the spiritual kingdom far beyond the material sky. The political caste system and the orders of life are scientifically planned by the Lord and His representative, the great. Perfect way of life gives all sorts of instruction in things both material and spiritual. The Vedic way of life does not allow any man to be like the monkeys and dogs. Degraded civilization of sense gratification and economic development is a byproduct of a godless or kindless government of the people, by the people and for the people. The people should not therefore begrudge the poor administration they themselves elect. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Vinitam Yana Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stavitam Yana Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Darati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kantan Radha Kanta Namostute Tapte Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. At the time, the people in general will fall systematically from the path of the progressive civilization in respect to the qualitative engagements of the castes and the orders of society and the Vedic injunctions. Thus they will be more attracted to economic development for sense gratification. And as a result, there will be an unwanted population on the level of dogs and monkeys. Okay, as usual, thank you so much for coming, dear devotees. And please give me your blessings to tell something aligned with Vedas and beneficial for all of us. And so you see, it's all this past shlokas are very interesting because they show us how all this degradation of civilization, modern civilization began. And but we are lucky, very lucky, because we have an instructions how to deal with this. And when I read this verse, I mean, we were talking a lot recently about all the varnashramas and different orders of life. And I guess for now it was sad enough, so I wanted to approach this verse from a little bit different point of view. And actually, when I first read it, it reminded me on one lecture. Actually, it was the first lecture I've ever heard in my life. And basically, I can say that how my path in Krishna consciousness started, because it was really something powerful for me and very simple, but I don't know, somehow it touched my mind and I started to think in a different direction. So, in this, Russian region, we have one, I don't know, probably most of you know, we have this famous guru who is Chaitanya Chandracharan Prabhu. He preaches for this Russian region, so he's very well known, and he wrote a book called Levels of Consciousness, and basically he was really it was scientific book, but in a really understandable manner, so that all the common people could understand it. And he was given lectures on this book. And so basically he just explained how we operate in this life. And he said that basically, so the human body has this. Okay, just give me a second. I need to open something. Yeah, so he was explaining this level of consciousness. And the start, the very bottom of this system is our senses, is something that connected to our material body. And he explained that this is how we explore this world, right, by our senses. So we have 10 types of senses. 5 of them are senses of actions, and 5 of them are senses of perception. And we know this senses of perception are basically view, sense of smell, sense touch, taste, and hearing. So by these senses we explore this world, right? The senses are always curious. They just wandering around and they trying to find something to focus on. And this is how just our body operates on material level. And then he explains that the next level of consciousness is mind. But one interesting thing he said, which I never thought about before, we should very correctly understand what is mind. It's not just something physical. This is, for example, it is something related to our brain, but it's not. Brain is a material structure, and basically our brain is like an office for our mind. So our mind just sit there and working with what it has. And he also explained that mind we can also call a mindset. So it means that mindset, he gives this example, what is a mindset? And he says that, for example, the tsunami wave, right? We know that tsunami wave, we can see it when it approaches the shore and just something very huge. But in the ocean, in the open ocean, we can see, so the wave is only 30 centimeters or 1 feet above the water. And basically this is what on the surface is our thoughts. We also should not understand mind and thoughts and mind is not the same. So our thoughts is just something on the surface of the mind. And mind, it's this tsunami wave which basically under the water. And it's something very subtle. And basically our mindset also forms our body, basically, because For example, if you have some qualities which are very subtle in your mind, right? They can form our material external form, which is our body. For example, if a human being has feminine or masculine qualities, for example, like woman can have a lot of masculine qualities, it means she starts to act like man, and basically she looks like man, like in the future, you know. So this is something very subtle in our existence. And then he explains, so this connection between senses and mind. So basically, as I said, senses, they searching, they exploring the world, but mind basically choose so the senses approach something, and then mind choose, is it good or bad for you? So if mind says like, oh yeah, it's good, for example, so we like everything which leads to sense gratification, right? Like we like to enjoy the life, we like to, for example, when you drink alcohol, it makes you feel better, and mind says like, oh, it's good, you know. Same way, when we enjoy, this sexual life, for example, it's also like our mind says like, it's good, just enjoy it. And why actually I started to talk about this, levels of consciousness, because it feels like a lot of people, they just stopped at this level. So they have senses and they have their mind, and they just react on whatever mind says, what is good or what is bad. And they, so basically the biggest part of our population operates like this. But then he explains that about the mind level, we have higher level, which is our intelligence. And our intelligence is something completely different, because our intelligence can qualify what is good or bad in sense of existence. So, for example, if mind says what I like or I dislike, right? Just like simple reaction, like, dislike, our intelligence says what is good or bad in general. So then he explains, he gives an example of when the person has a cancer or some disease, right? And you know that you need to go to hospital and go through all this treatment. So your mind says, I don't want to do this because it doesn't bring me any pleasure, it's painful and I don't want it. But our intelligence says that if you do this, you would just stay alive. And this is the higher point of view in the situation. So our intelligence is regulate our mind and senses. And then the next level is our soul. And soul, this is something that connects this bottom levels of consciousness to the higher perspective, which is super soul and God by itself. So it means also it is very important where we basically put our intention to, right? If we're going down, if we're looking for this bottom levels, or we're looking for something higher, and spiritual. And let me see. And also it is said that then we have very false understanding of what happiness is. Our mind always will tell us that we can find our happiness only in sense gratification. And our mind always looking for this pleasure, and that's why so many people struggle and basically they have false understanding about life. And in our modern society, we are trying to find pleasure in different things, like, for example, when your mind says that the beauty is a main goal of our life, right? Or, for example, this sexual sense gratification, what it means? It means that all our activities are focused on get what we want, get some attention, and we want to be attractive. And basically all our life, like if we would think deeply, we would see that my mom is messaging. All our life is like forms around this, right? So we wake up in the morning, and what we do, we go and make ourselves look nice. What for? Just to be attractive for other people, or be attractive for the opposite sex, for example. And this false understanding of what happiness is, like we can see social media and how do they form our also like our understanding what happiness is, right? Like you go to Instagram, it's like very, very simple and like related to our everyday life. You go to Instagram and see all these people who are trying to show how beautiful they are, how attractive they are, and then and then it causes to different issues, like people trying even to change their body, right? It's such subtle in the mind. They have this false understanding what happiness is. They trying to like they doing like surgeries to change different parts of the body, and the awful thing about this that it is such. It has so strong influence basically on our society right now, especially on children who don't have this clear understanding, right? They learn from this. And then we create new generations of people who just have completely false understanding about the world and about any moral qualities or actually what it's all about. And I don't even say like thinking about higher happiness or thinking about God, for example. And then he says, so he continues with explanations, and he explains how, for example, love operates like according to these levels of consciousness. So if you go to this sense level,
you can see. So how we basically fall in love for the first time, right? We just find, so our senses, they just search and search, and we find someone attractive, and so basically we fall in love with like external qualities, right? What is just satisfy our senses. And next level is mind level of love. And in this level we fall into illusion, actually. Which is like, it's very, very true. Because when you have, so basically you already created this attachment to sense gratification on the lower level, right? And then on the mind level, you just think like, your mind just creates possible scenarios of how it would be. And it's complete illusion, because when you go to reality, when you realize that reality is something completely different, then you just cannot follow this. And here, like Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, he gives a lot of examples how people, he even told the story about one couple from, how this book calls, Guinness Book, right? Книга Гиннеса. What? Guinness Book, yeah. So, and this couple was famous for they were trying to kill themselves 4 times, but it was unsuccessful. And they were trying to do this because they were so in love, and their families didn't want them to be together. So somehow all 4 times it was unsuccessful. And then eventually they said, okay, it's if you love each other so much, okay, we allow you to get married. And basically in half of the year they just divorced, because when it came to the reality, it was like, it's not true, it's all illusion. And then finally he leads us to the point that when love forms on this higher level, which is level of intelligence, this is something completely different, because it is based now on duty. And so when we're young, for example, we can fall in love. Also like our senses are involved and mind are involved by, if we are intelligent enough to understand that it should be a higher goal of this, right? Like we should engage us in different level, it completely changes the situation. And then we go to what actually Srila Prabhupada says about all this. And I like to do researches by words when I read any shloka, and most of the time it gives different examples, like from different classes which Srila Prabhupada gives. And he was talking to one Indian man, and they were discussing, actually I don't remember what was the topic about, because I only went to this part when he discussed like exact topic. So now we will go a little bit closer to Vedic books and what's actually said there. Okay. So they basically were discussing what sex life is, and Prabhupada was explaining that it can be good one and a bad one, and he explained what it means. It means that bad sex life, it's only the life which is exists for sense gratification, and the good sex life, it's life which is based on Okay, let me read. Which is based on religion. And if you it sounds like if you don't know that, you're a rascal. And he says, like, there are two kinds of sex life. Otherwise, why Krishna says sex life, which is not against the religious principles that I am, so God is good, and which is not against the religious principles that is good. Otherwise, it's bad. And and he gives as an example the shlok from Śhrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is 5:5:18. Let me read it because it's very, very nice. One who cannot deliver his dependence from the path of repeated birth and death should never become a spiritual master and father, a husband, a mother, or a worshipable demigod. And then he explains that the Vedic way of approaching the marriage, right, and being allowed to have sex life, basically, it's way when, as I said, based on a duty, you go into the marriage, and your main goal should be to deliver your child to God and basically give him a knowledge how to escape from a death, which means you bring the child into this material world, but the main goal is to explain, to give this knowledge and to deliver your child back to Godhead, which is like, it's very beautiful, you know, like, and again, it's like something very, very simple, but open-minded, and we should always remember about this and understand what we're doing, why we're doing this. Because main goal, just to go back to Godhead, and what are we doing in this material life? Like, we should maintain ourselves. We should, what you cannot restrict, you should to engage in service, right? Because anyway, we have this like different orders of life, which is brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasi. So basically 3 of them, they based on restricting the sense gratification, right? But grihastha, order of life, based on engaging this. So, because for a human being, it's very hard to, we still have this, we're material bodies, we still have the senses, and we cannot completely avoid it, we cannot cut it, because it's just impossible. And someone can, but not the main part of society. So it means like we should to engage it in the right way, and right way to engage, just offer it like a service and use it like for a service for Krishna. So in this chapter it was given a problem, and I was trying to find the solution, and I hope it was something useful for you, what was told today. So thank you so much. I guess this is it. And any comments probably? Questions? So on? No? I'm completely satisfied. Yeah, Divyangi, please.
Thank you for the next class. Many things to learn. Also, it reminded me this example of when Arjuna, he didn't want to fight the war, right? And he started giving all these different excuses to Krishna why he didn't want. Of course, he was kind of put into disillusion, right? But one was that the women, there will be no, because all the men will be killed, right?
Yeah.
Or there will be no men to protect women, and then women will become, polluted, right? And from this will come unwanted progeny, right? And he didn't want. So it's nice to, think further, like, where everything leads to. Youth intelligence.
Yeah, exactly. That's like intelligence gives us like this wider understanding, right? It can observe the situation from the top. That's why it's like it develops in like from bottom to the top.
Also, I have a question.
Yes.
Did Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu said anything about, you told about these levels?
Yes.
Like love,
Uh-huh.
right? Like, is it like a gradual development, or it just, once you go with your intelligence, you go with your intelligence? You know what I mean? But can it progress to the level of intelligence, even though if you get whatever attracted by your senses, right?
He didn't explain exact this thing, but what he said, that for example, mind and senses, they are connected between each other. But intelligence is not connected to mind and senses. You know what I mean? It just, intelligence can find this happiness, because intelligence is connected to the soul, what is our existent eternal form, right? Which so our soul is connected to eternal knowledge. So intelligence is connected to higher level, and it's not. Intelligence is not influenced by mind and senses. And it's an interesting question. I guess I need to think, because no, he didn't explain it exactly, but he says that we can work on it, because like we should try just basically to get this. I don't think like it comes to you by itself. It comes through the experience, right? When you get this knowledge, and you should to receive this knowledge from someone. It's like we're trying to follow spiritual masters to receive the knowledge about how it works on the higher levels. And I understand that yes, it's a question, if you're stuck on this level of mind, is it possible for you to get out of there, right, and to go further? But it also depends how, I think it also depends on this, how actually Krishna will allow you to do this, because he gives you this remembrance, right? Like our soul is connected to eternal remembrance of our previous lives. And if Krishna wants you to develop in this life, he will give you knowledge, which, like, he will allow you to remember from the previous lives, what's the main goal, and he will allow you to go from this level of mind to level of intelligence, and then you will be able to connect to the higher levels. Does it make sense? You listen, yeah. But obviously we can explore this question together later, I guess. Yeah, because it's interesting, It's interesting to apply knowledge to real life and to understand how we actually, these machines, like physical machines, how we basically work, and how to self-realize ourselves like a spiritual, like a soul, like a part of something higher. Thank you so much for the question. We'll think about it. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Anything else? Yeah, God brothers? No? Okay, 54 minutes. Grantaraj Śhrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jaya.
Jagadhatri-devī Dāsī ki jaya.